Good morning, traders. I got this thing funded last night. Let's see if I can screw it up. Let's go to regular trading hours only. Settlement is this white line. Got it marked out here. This is pre-market low. I'm just going to put in pre-market. I don't know what's low. All right, so we opened with a little bit of a gap. We already filled it. It's not in play anymore. Overnight trading was abysmal. If you look at the extended, we stayed in this tight little range all night long, leaving relative equal highs at the all-time highs. I did put this fib tool on here. I'm going to go ahead and mark it out and then get rid of the tool right there. I'm going to make it yellow. And this is 25% pullback for yesterday. And then this one down here is 50% pullback for yesterday. All right, and now I'm going to get rid of that fib tool so we can see all of our lines better. And we need to do an RTH. And we need to make sure we got all of our 4-hour RTH marked. I have this one marked, but not that one. I'm not sure why. And this would be our afternoon low from yesterday there. Now I'm just going to clone it because we have several, I would even call them relative equal lows down here. Pre-market low came down and kind of matched that one. But we have several here. To me, when you have a cluster of lows like that, that can be a draw. I don't want to put that one right on top, so I'll put it here. There we go. And I'll clone another one. And we'll move it down to this spot. All right, so to me, if we're going higher, we need to go lower first. I think we need to trade down into this area, at least take out these guys. There's a nice fair value gap from yesterday. That's the 25% mark. If we pulled back to there and respected this fair value gap and then started attacking those highs would be wonderful. If we went up, failed to make it to the high, but took out the pre-market high, that would be wonderful too, because then we could get a short down in here to this new week opening gap, possibly trade down. If I'm a billionaire, I'm not wanting to buy up here. I'm wanting to buy. If we're going higher, I'm wanting to buy somewhere around this area, preferably below this line, but definitely below that line. So why wouldn't we be? You know what? I just marked out a bunch of 15-minute levels that I don't need to be marking out. I need to be marking out 4-hour levels. So that's weird. See how I changed it and it quit moving. So I need to get rid of some of these. The only one I need to have on here really is this one right there. You can mark the 15-minute. They're good for intraday. Yeah, so this one would have to go all the freaking way back down here. And these are relative equals, so I just marked them like that. And there we go. Let's look at a 5. So we're taking out the pre-market low right now. And this is also yesterday's afternoon low. So we could look for a reversal here, but it's awfully early in the day. So far, we left the pre-market high. We moved back to settlement. Now we've taken the pre-market low. I'm going to try one here with just 5 of these micros. Maybe just back to settlement. Settlement's at what? 87, 90. Let's see what it does. Maybe I'll just go to break even right away, just in case we double tap. I know there's no signal there, but sometimes this is just an intuitive trade. And it's early. I don't like to take trades a lot of times in the first few minutes of trading. That's why I went to break even right away, because it can do anything. But oftentimes, and this is really tight range, when we take the pre-market low, we will offer to the pre-market high. But I could take it there at settlement if we're going to be offering lower. That's why I'm at break even already. I'm going to give it the opportunity to go and put a little money in the bank. But if it doesn't go, I don't want to lose money on this trade because it's pretty early in the day. But we could, now that we've taken the pre-market high and yesterday's afternoon low, offer back to this line or possibly the relative equal highs that were created at the all-time high. Okay, so that's a done trade. But you still do want to be watching for a reversal signal here. It's such a tight range. I would say 15-second chart is where we need to be looking. And put our breaker line right here on this 15-second candle. I'm not sure why that one's there. I think I just accidentally clicked that one. So this is our 25% retrace of yesterday here. Okay, so we didn't get a reversal there, at least not yet. So let's go back to a higher time frame and just kind of watch to see where this thing wants to go. My trading style is primary reversal trading. There is one thing that I've probably should have tried right there. On a continuation trade, I'm always trying to anticipate how far it moves back up and say, okay, it should reverse back down here. Instead of doing that, I've been putting my orders at the end, at the lowest point, and then sometimes I get smoked, but I know right away. But if it touches that, it usually will push on through like it's doing right now. So now we're back down to 50. This is a 5-minute chart, not a 1-minute chart, but there's a fair value gap right here. Is this the bottom? We're going back to the moon now. I'll give you an example of what I was going to do. What I would do there is I'll do it over here with the micro so I don't get spanked. But we just made a low and we reversed. So over here, I would do a sell stop. If it pops that low and pushes on through, it'll catch me on the way through. That way I don't have to guess how much of a retrace we're going to have. And if it pops the low and pops straight back up, then I know, okay, I'm in a bad spot here. And I could do a couple more now. It continues. Sell 2 more if it makes a new low there. And we know we're in the first 30 minutes. This thing could continue down all the way to our 50% mark or the end dog end log. Or it could pop back up and go to the all-time highs any second. See, right now, we've kind of halted our move down. I've entered 2 positions. I always try to buy up here, which is nice if you can buy up there. But on a continuation move, you don't really know if it's just a pullback or if it's going all the way up. So I just watch real close right here. If I start getting in the hole, it looks like we're going to reverse here at all. Like if there's a bullish order block or anything there, I just kill the trade immediately. On a 15-second chart, this would probably be, I'm going to sell 2 more if we push through that low. And if we don't do it pretty quick, I'm just going to kill the trade. Because we are at the 25% mark. I didn't even check to see if we have news this morning. We do. It just came out. Flash PMI. It just now released. And I'm in a position. And how did it do? Well, it a little low there, but it met expectation. A little low on both of them. I hope we fall out of bed. I hope we fall down to that end dog, end walk, and pick my order up on the way through. Being in the market when a red news, that red thing there, this is a bad idea. You don't do that. I just didn't even check my news this morning. I haven't been out of bed for more than 15 minutes, so I'm kind of groggy still. So I don't like the fact that we're pushing higher here. But I do like the fact that we're not pushing higher with aggressiveness. So I'm gonna continue to hold. And I'm thinking this end dog is our target right here. So that would be 860 for the high side. right about there. If you watch the news, listen to the news at all, Tesla, um, Nvidia had a really good news story yesterday. Tesla went through the roof yesterday. All of the mags just went crazy high. And that's why we had that big run up yesterday. Tesla had some, or Nvidia made some sort of an AI deal yesterday that was worth a lot of money. And so we could go rocketing straight up to the moon. If you, I don't know if you've ever seen this. It's something ICT uses a lot. He'll mark them all out. I don't put them on my chart that much, but I do at least keep the most recent week. NWOG stands for New Week Opening Gap. We worked that gap quite a bit at the open. This isn't looking too good. We worked that quite a bit that evening whenever we created it, so it may not revisit it. But and as far as open market goes, we just went through it yesterday and then came back, touched it, and then adios. I'm going to go ahead and put on a mini. If we push through those lows, we should push through it pretty aggressively, and I'll know right away, and I can just flatten all my positions. But if we just touch it and pull straight back up or something, then that's when I would want to kill it. If we look at the market structure there, we created a fair value gap right here, and that is actually our first one of the day. We just now wicked into the half portion of it, and so we respected it. So we could possibly trade down from here, and I want to be involved if we do. If you watched my video last night, I had a
You sent it to me? Oh.
folks, I have to mute my mic from time to time, so if I go quiet, I'm still here, but I have house guests, and that's why I haven't been live streaming very much. But I just mute it when people happen into the living room or where I'm recording. So if you don't hear anything, I'm still here. Just have it muted. What I was saying last night, I put up a video on my YouTube channel about a glitch in the Topstep dashboard. To pass this combine, instead of making the normal 53,000, it didn't calculate $2,000 worth of my trades, and so I had to make an additional 2,000 to pass it. And you can watch that video to figure out what all went on there. Looks like this one might get filled, and we'll push lower, hopefully. So here is a really important part. We took out the low of the day. If we don't push lower, I want to see it push at least 20 points through here for it to be a confirmation that we're going lower. Otherwise, we could just take that by a tick and go straight back up. Now, getting in up here would be a whole lot better because I would already be quite a few points up. But you also run the risk of it going all the way to that all-time high. Here, I know right away, okay, this is not pushing through like I expected, and I can kill it. And we've pushed quite a bit past 50 by the time we get to here. So the likelihood of us going down to at least 30, pretty good. And we put a fair value gap to the downside after bouncing off the first presentation fair value gap twice. So I'll know right away if we're going to continue lower. And the way it's looking to me, we are. I could even add on that pullback. I could have added another one because this looks bearish. Revisiting 50, very common. So now we need this candle to make a new low, or I've got to flatten. I'm going to make this bigger. There we go. So I got my micro position going over here, and then this will be my mini. This is the one that can do the most pain in the quickest amount of time if we don't push through this. So it's the one I'll be killing first. I like it. I'm going to put in one more if we get past this end right here. Make another new low of the day. Because once we get past there, we should get some movement to the downside. I doubt we will triple tap the lows. All right, so that filled me on the second one. Oh man, it didn't fill me on the second one. I was hoping to get another fill. Okay, so we'll try to take them both to the end dog, but I'm going to be watching this one really closely simply because it's oh, it wouldn't let me fill it because when you're in an XFA, you can only have two minis, and I've already got 4 micros over here, so I could have filled over here. I could have put more on over here, but it wouldn't let me do it over there. So I could try adding a couple more over here to get to my full contract size. I would need to add 6 more over here if we pop that low. I don't like that it popped right back up there, but we should get a flush if it's going to flush. It's 1 minute to 9. Opening range will have been completed by then. There we go. So now that filled me with, oh man, I did it wrong. You see what I did there? I got to get out of this one. It took my profit on those others and made me one long, so it sold them all. I'll just add to this one over here now. So add that wick. There we go. So now I'm full contract size committed on this position. And I'm expecting a flush at least a round number, maybe all the way to the end wall. I was in a trade just like this yesterday, expecting this same flush to the new week opening gap. But instead of going to the new week opening gap, we went to round number and then went took us for a ride. I wonder why my OCO is not there. Oh, I didn't set it up on this yet. So I've got to put in some protection here. This doesn't look good, does it? That's the risk you do buying the lows or selling the lows is this run up stuff right here. So you gotta be comfortable with your drawdown because it could absolutely rip up higher. You got to keep your finger on that X. Come on, make a new low here. Really need this one to make a new low. There we go. I like that push down. I like that push down a whole lot better than I like that push up. When you got two minis on a brand new XFA, it's a little nerve wracking when you get down 500 bucks. But we need a new low here. Come on. The market always does better if you talk to it, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if y'all knew that trick. But yeah, if you tell the candle to go down, it will go down. So let's see if I can make it go down. Oh no, it didn't work that time. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like this very much at all. Let's put on a 30-minute. And let's see how that looks in the grand scheme of things. So we can move our pre-market line wherever it is. We'll move it down to here. And I'm going to make it solid. Revisiting 50 again. I don't like that. 600 in the hole. 700 in the hole. Yeah, this isn't looking good. This is a 15-minute over here. What I did on this thing here, I put a quadrant on that wick. And I would want to see it respect that halfway point if we're going to have more downside. I should have already killed this trade, to be honest with you. Whenever you enter at the bottom, you've got to kill it. If it moves even 5 points against you, you got to kill it. Now I'm just hoping. praying that I didn't make a mistake. We're back down to 50. We could bounce off 50 and go straight back up. Or we could flush. What does this look like on a 1 minute? On a 1 minute, we bit back into this fair value gap. Did not validate the breaker. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. That's our breaker right there to the upside. We had one candle body close above, and now we're pulling back. I may need to take this opportunity to get out with a small loss. Up here, I'm down nearly $1,000. Why didn't we keep going up? Why don't we just wick into this fair value gap? That's a bearish fair value gap. We wicked into it. We respected the center point. And now we're pushing lower. We did validate this breaker to the upside with only with a candle body. We didn't validate it with the fair value gap, but we could. We absolutely could. I'm gonna get rid of this line. There's just too much stuff there. Yeah, I think this one's gonna go, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. We'll just watch for a minute now. Yeah. So we're validating this upside. So I tried hard on that one and failed. Now, because I did that, I can't throw the kitchen sink at this next one. But this is a fair value gap to the upside above the breaker. So I would want to enter. I'm just going to mark it in, and I'm going to just do 5 right there. It actually hasn't completed the candle. I got 30 more seconds, so it could come back down. Sure should have let it complete that candle. I got in way too early there. I'm still thinking downside here. So I'm not real comfortable with this long. That's how, that's why it's important. Still, we were having a fair value gap here, but I didn't let that candle finish. If I would have waited until that candle finished, this is a whole different picture we have now. So I got to get that one off too. Are we going to have a shift in market structure here? Maybe. We don't know that. All right, so we're liking this area. I'm going to be more patient this time. Breakers here. I can label it bull breaker. So we would need to invert this fair value gap. I'm not going to do like I did last time where it takes those highs and comes straight back down, takes these lows. I'm going to wait for a fair value gap to the upside. Where I got in to that position, if I would have waited to kill it, this came all the way back within 2 points of it. I could have only been $100 in the hole instead of $600 in the hole. Right now, we're just ranging right here. The trade I got in to pass this combine did a range like this last night forever. Pretty much 4 hours stayed at a 10-point range. Okay, so it's kind of trying to invert this bearish fair value gap here. I don't know that I have that exactly right. There and there. So it looks like it's trying to invert it. We've got a lot of distance to the all-time high up here. I'm not going to try to turtle trade this one because you saw how that worked out. All-time high is here. Overnight hours did create relative equal highs here. Back down to 50. If I was a range trader, I could just take some trades in here. So far, we're still respecting this wick. If we're bearish, that's a premium wick. We did touch it to the halfway point, pull back. That would be this high right here. In addition to having company, my phone is, gets quite a few calls. I've already had 5 calls this morning. All of them very important, I'm sure. See, I've kind of put a requirement upon myself that I get a clean reversal. And this right now is what I would call an unclean reversal. A clean reversal is when we take a level like a 4-hour regular trading hour low and immediately reverse. We don't do all this garbage. So if we were to come down and maybe take one of these levels, then I could, and then go immediately with a really nice reversal pattern. I would like that much better, because this one could fair value gap to these highs right here in the middle of the fair value gap here and then continue down. It's not a clean reversal at all. It's not a spot where we're like, okay, that's where it was heading, and now we're going the other way. ES hasn't even made it back down to settlement. Opening range. It took the low of the opening range. It's just working right in the middle of the range. We'll leave it on there for a minute. We'll watch both of them. ES and NQ. There's no point in trying to find a trade in this mess. So we'll go back over here. Man, would you look at that? This is extended trading hours for ES. Isn't that crazy? And the opening range for ES, let me just copy this one. If you copy here instead of clone, then you can paste it over on the other one. But you got to be right on top of the candle when you right click. Paste. There we go. So it's opening range high is there. And then once it's over here, now you can clone it. And opening range low is right there. This is pre-market low, I think. Yeah, 715. Pre-market low is right there for ES. You know, pre-market high we've already taken. But pre-market low took out that stuff. I'll put another line there for pre-market low. That's kind of making me like the downside because ES didn't take its pre-market low. We're back below 50 over here. So if we go to regular trading hours only, ES went up. It took the pre-market high. Can we find a breaker in all this mess? There's our breaker. We went up, we made a lower high. This is our first fair value gap below the breaker right here, forming. Got 23 seconds remaining on that candle. Potential fair value gap here if it stays. It's got 2 seconds. It's staying. I'm going to try it. And we'll just try for pre-market low here. Do we have a similar structure on NQ? Nope, we just have trash on NQ. So ES is a little cleaner. We went up, took out the pre-market high, made a lower high, respected the breaker to the downside, respected the fair value gap. I'm just going to move this over. So this price action to me is cleaner. We should at least get to these lows. They're equal. Settlements here. And then we have pre-market low all the way down here. The one thing I did not do for ES is mark out yesterday's candle. Opening range almost took the high of the day, the all-time high. So for this, I would just use this fib tool. And I don't even have enough room to do it. Yesterday was such a bullish day. And I would mark out its 25. And also it's 50. And you can see that short I was in, if I would have not over leveraged, I would still be in it and it would be okay on NQ. ES moves a lot slower than NQ, but the signals should be the same. So we took out these relative equal lows and now we're pushing back up. Does that mean we don't want the pre-market low? Or does that mean we've created another fair value gap, we're respecting it, and we're going to push lower? Do we push to the 25% mark of yesterday? If I'm a billionaire, I wouldn't even be considering buying until it gets down here. Because why would you want to buy at the highs? So I would have my orders placed down here or here. If we're still extremely bullish, we would want to see it reverse around here. I'm going to try for that 25% mark. NQ is still just being a pain in the butt. Look at that crap. See how much cleaner ES chart is? That seems like that would be the low of the opening range. No, it had occurred right after 10 o'clock. So we're already back to my entry here. These may have been all the lows it was looking for. It also touched settlement. So I may get spanked on another one. The low hanging fruit. If I would have taken the profit at settlement, that would have been $300. That wouldn't have been a bad trade at all. Because now we're in jeopardy of losing this thing. So we've returned to settlement, and now we're pushing higher. A 4-point move in ES is a big move compared to NASDAQ. We still have yesterday's afternoon low as a target lower, pre-market low, and the 25%. I think we'll just, I don't know, we'll see. We may just take them off right there. This would be a good place to turtle trade right below that low. But I'm already in, so I'm not going to erase it. Return to the first fair value gap after the breaker. Respected the halfway point so far. But we do have a bullish order block here. So that could serve as an upside breaker. ES just took the highs of its range. I mean, NQ just took the highs of its range. I think it took them. Now that's 60, 62, 62. We're going to flush. We ought to do it right here. If not, I got to get out of this one too. Man, I'm thinking maybe I should err on the side of caution here. I don't hate my entry. It's a good entry. The thing I don't like is if NQ decides it's as low as it wants to go and it starts ripping higher, it's going to take this one with it. This one shows 62 quarter 62 quarter, 62 quarter. So to me, those need to fall before we go any lower. But it could be saving them for later. It's hard to tell in this mess. That is an absolute mess. But it's enough ambiguity. I'm just going to go ahead and take this one off for a little while. Should it go down there? Yes, absolutely it should. Let's just do this. Stops at break even just in case. This is our order block. We need to get through it if we're going to have more downside for sure. $50 is a psych level. Price likes to dance around it a lot, and you can see how NQ is just absolutely loving 50. Well, ES went back up to it too. So right now, with the way you treat an order block like this, same kind of thing. We use that tool. Same as we did on that wick on the MNQ. When we want price pushing, candle body's closing below the halfway point here. So far, they're respecting it. Now we've made a new low, or that low anyway. We've gone to 75% with a wick, but not with a body. All right, that looks good. Now, can we close there? Made a new low, that's good. So we can get rid of the fib, as long as this holds. Get rid of that clutter off the screen, and let's just watch. What's price doing now? Yesterday's afternoon low, pre-market low would be our next two targets. I'm not going to get too greedy. I'm going to take my profit right there if it'll make it. You can see NQ is not following suit. ES is the much better product to trade today. What we might see, I saw this yesterday, once ES takes this, we may see NQ respond by pushing higher. I say once, if. I'm just giving it the opportunity to push on through. I'll probably kill it. So if we just took that, yeah, I'm out. sometimes it'll run those by 10 points. Sometimes it runs them by a tick. If you're only watching NQ today, you are frustrated and there are no trade opportunities. If you notice right here, when I killed my trade earlier, I could have killed it in profit here. You just never know. But if you over leverage and you get down 800 bucks on your brand new XFA, it will make you pucker up a little bit when you get down 800 bucks because it could rip straight to the moon. You just never know. There's way too much clutter on this screen for me. I don't like it. This still remains our bullish breaker. And if we were to get a fair value gap pushing away from this area, take out these highs, and see how we took out that low. We left pre-market. I still think pre-market needs to fall. But once these are taken, we could see a push up from NQ. Something I've noticed with the opening candles. See how this one pushed down, filled the gap, and then went up. This would be our run on liquidity, wherever that liquidity happened to be. Pre-market high, I think is where it actually was. Pushed up, ran pre-market high. So this would be our breaker right here at settlement. We pushed through it, finally had a fair value gap here. So you could have been good to enter right here for a push down. And then, but we were already right there at pre-market low. We weren't just a few points. So ES did finally push down a little bit lower than the 4 hour. Almost took pre-market low. Once it does, then we may see some expansion to the upside. Or we may see a continuation down. But NQ isn't going to move until ES takes that low. I like that PD array there on ES. We made a new low, but created a bullish breaker, a bullish order block. Still leaving the pre-market low. If you don't know it, the pre-market low is actually the beginning of the New York session. It starts at 6 a.m. Texas time, 7 a.m. New York. And you have to factor those highs and lows in to the entire movement of New York session. So always mark those out. See if we went to 30-minute candles over here. You go to 7 o'clock. Oh, we need to go extended. Okay, so extended. Right there at 8:30, that's our pre-market high. Right there. So when we opened, we took the pre-market high. And now we're aiming down to the pre-market low, which is right here. Look at that. So now we've got our fair value gap. We've taken out these highs. I don't like that we didn't take this pre-market low, but we did take yesterday's afternoon low. So that's good. Now, right now, all we've done is taken this liquidity, so we could come right back down. You want to wait until this candle finishes. And we may just run back to settlement and come back down. That's what I don't like about unclean reversals. We're above the breaker. We pulled away decisively. Opening range high is in play. Pre-market high has already been taken, so I'm going to leave it off the chart. But that pre-market low, to me, is still very much in play. We went back to the center of the first presentation fair value gap. We took out these two relative equal highs on the 1 minute chart. We could fall out of bed here. We did leave a little fair value gap right here. So we could offer higher as well. I'm going to try it. If we dip any lower than that, then I'm out. I don't have any OCOs on here, so I'm just going to use my finger. All right, so we filled in that fair value gap. Back to the breaker. Touched it to the tick so far. Can we go back up? Yeah, that's just an immediate rebalance. Yeah, I'm out. So yeah, I'm thinking pre-market low needs to fall over here before we see any upside. Because we did just take that liquidity, you could use this as an intraday breaker right here. Push down. You could try to short. I'm not going to try anything else in this range. I'm going to wait for ES to take this pre-market low and then see what's up. I may not trade NQ today at all. That was a 25-point swing. There's another level down low it's reaching for, and when it gets there, it'll be a clean reversal. Unless we have a directional day, which I really, really doubt. You could try turtle trading those lows, but what's the point? So ES pushed up a little. Now it's back down to settlement. No, it's a waiting game right now. Really important to be patient right now, folks. Really important. All right, folks, I had everything muted there for a bit, but I got in this trade based off of the 15-second breaker. Nearly got stopped out here. May still. NQ is bouncing off of this first presentation fair value gap. It did put up a nice little run up with a fair value gap, respected its breaker. I went in on ES just because I think its signals are cleaner, but we could still continue to offer lower here. It's, to me, this is a difficult day to trade. We had news, and the news was a nothing burger. To me, right now, pulling back to this level, I might as well get out of this trade. The price action is saying, we should have run up right there, and we didn't. We have relative equal highs here now, but are we going to take these lows first? And I just can't keep bleeding P&L here. Component wise, I mean, we do have a decently clean reversal, but it just keeps violating this breaker. If we go with the 15-second breaker, it looks a little better, but not that much better. The 15-second breaker is right here. I think I had it on the wrong candle before. So that would be basically a to the tick touch of the 15-second breaker right there. So I'm going to continue to hold it, being that we've taken the 4-hour low, take the pre-market low, but I don't have a whole lot of confidence in the trade. I think we can probably get up here, but it just feels like we're just going to continue to range. So I think maybe I just move my take profit here, like a tick or two above there. Maybe I move it up higher and then just keep my finger on the close button. It could rip higher. It could rip up to these quite easily. And it could smoke me. This is the part that most traders wring their hands over, is the uncertainty. This last fair value gap right here is where we pulled back to for downside. So this would have to be a complete reversal for the day. Now, the rule is if it hasn't reversed by 11, it probably won't. But since we really haven't had that much movement today, I think we probably could. I think ES could probably, NQ could at least get back to settlement. And if it does that, then it should drag ES with it. If NQ can get back up to here. And so that's roughly 20 points. ES isn't going to move much more than 5. So that would be about right for that. I traded overnight in Asia session last night and watched it stay in a range. I ended up getting my trade and getting this thing funded for the second time. They just didn't give me my credit the first time. But it was literally like 4.5 hours I was in that trade with it moving like freaking molasses. It was the worst. I would look at my phone and be like, okay, it still hasn't moved at all. And look at this. I have to go to extended on this, but I'm going to show it to you. We're not doing anything but wait for this thing to go to my take profit. Right here. I got in. Let's see. Yeah, right here we opened at 6. We went and took that high, and then we started aiming back down. So I got in somewhere around here, expecting it to go and take the low, maybe even offer lower. And it just went all the way up, almost took the high there. I got out somewhere around midnight. This push down right here has got me out. Look at this. There's no structure. We're looking for structure in a market that has no structure. Look at that. Yeah, I'm not believing this one's going anywhere but bad places. I'm about to lose $180 on this. Why wouldn't we take those highs when we're right there next to them? This is just a settlement dance, and I'm gonna lose $180 on a settlement dance. I could try going to the low. Oh, it already took me first. Well, there went 180 more dollars. Oh, I am officially finished with anything going on in this area. If we offer substantially lower, I might try to take them all, but this isn't a market I'm interested in trading. I've tried what, 3, 4 times. I had one winner and 3 losers. That's enough. Look at that. We're trying to trade that garbage. There's no structure to that. These are pointless. I mean, we have the reversal pattern here. That was a nice one, and we respected it. Until it comes down to a point where it seems like it's hit a bottom, I won't even look for another reversal pattern. ES or NQ isn't really, this would be like almost like decoupled markets, because ES is continuing to offer lower while NQ is not. These candles should match pretty closely, and they don't. So no, unless we offer down to one of these yellow lines and put up a clean reversal pattern, I won't be trading anymore today. And so what I would do here, rather than sitting in front of my screen and being tempted into another trade, is I would go in here and I would put these levels in my phone. I have an account with a company called Moo. When I was trading stocks, I had an account with them. But one thing I do like about them is you can put alerts in your phone. So if it gets to 67.41, my phone is going to ding at me, and I can come in here and look for a reversal pattern. If it gets to 67.26, it'll ding at me again. And then for looking at NASDAQ, I would want it. We're already to the 25%, and we didn't want any more. So I'd be looking at maybe 24.9 for NASDAQ. If it gets down that low, I might look for a reversal back to settlement. There we go. So now I have all my alerts saved, and I don't have to sit here and watch this garbage and drive myself nuts trying to figure out which direction it's going next. Because none of this is anything we want to trade. I really don't like having this on here. Maybe it's just the words that's driving me crazy, but I'm going to get rid of them. Y'all just have to know my gray box is the first presentation fair value gap. We've already taken this out, so there's no sense in having it on there anymore. Bullish breaker that means nothing because it's in a pile of trash, so I'm deleting it. And that's what we have left. Settlement is a target if we ever push lower. Pretty much that's it. We didn't even take the opening range high in the NQ. We took I'm sorry, the pre-market. We didn't take the pre-market high. We left it. We took pre-market low, and then we have arrested development. I think the target is here, possibly here, but we got to get out of this trash first. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. Difficult trading day. If you're getting your butt handed to you, it's just one of those days, man. One of those days. That combine that I just passed, I lost $1,500 on my first day trading it because I didn't say, okay, I've lost enough trades now. I need to stop. I am saying that today because I'm down. I'm down probably 800 bucks. Yeah, 800 bucks. So I'm not going to lose any more of that money today. There'll be better days to trade, I promise. And we may get a signal later. But right now, this is nothing I want to take part in. But I got that one down, I even lost more. I was down almost to blowing it up. And then I had 3 2,000 plus days. Topstep screwed me over on one. Didn't even count my trades on the dashboard. It counted them in the P&L, but it didn't count them on the dashboard. And so I had to make an additional $2,000 just to pass that combine. I got it $5,500, $55,000 to get it passed, and did that in the overnight session last night. But it doesn't matter if you lose a few trades one day, because the next day you're going to get a fantastic reversal signal, and you're going to make it all back. So don't worry about taking a chance on a day like today, but realize this is not our trading environment. This is not it. We're not having any clean reversals. We're in a pile of trash. Just stay away. If you have to lock your account to stay away, lock it. I'm not going to lock it because I don't need to lock it anymore to stay away. I'm just going to put it in my phone, go do some laundry, clean house, whatever, and let this sucker go where it's going. Y'all have a good day.